Dark atmospheres are a staple of cinematic scores, so let's create one from scratch using Live's instrument rack. Create a new MIDI channel, drop in an instrument rack, and drag in an instance of operator. We're going to use operator in subtractive synthesis mode, so click the oscillator routing icon and select the option in the far right, the 4 squares in a row. First we need to set the waveforms and envelopes. Select oscillator A and set its waveform to SAW D. In the envelope section, change the attack to 1100 milliseconds and release to 4000 milliseconds. Finally, drop the pitch of the oscillator by turning the coarse dial to 0.5 and widen the sound out by turning the spread control up to 100%. Now head to oscillator B. Set coarse to 2 and level to -8 dB. Tune the oscillator up in pitch by raising the fine control to 500. Set the waveform to SAW D, the envelope attack to 3000 milliseconds, and its release to 4000 milliseconds. Now this is a good time to pull the master volume down to -15 dB to give us some headroom. Set oscillator C's wave to noise white and push the level up to -14 dB. Smooth things off by pulling the filter freak control down to 1.3 kHz and move the res control to 45%. Also, set the freak key control to 50%. This opens the filter as we go up the keyboard so we can hear the higher keys when we play them. This is known as filter tracking. Head to the LFO and turn it on. In the Dest A section, deselect button A. This disconnects oscillator A from the LFO. We don't want smooth, repeating movements, so change the LFO from sine to noise in the drop-down. Next, set the rate to 90 and the amount to 40%. Create a new chain. Drop in Juno CM and initialize the patch by clicking on the Bank B button. Turn the OSC mix control to 50% and thicken the sound up by turning the 2 fat dials to 100%. Next, let's select the waveforms. On oscillator 1, hit the Cell button and select waveform 5. On oscillator 2, select waveform 19. We need to tune both oscillators to a different pitch. On oscillator 1, turn the semi-dial up to +1. On oscillator 2, move it to +7. To set up the modulation, click the Mod Matrix button in the central panel. In slot 2, select the source as LFO1 and amount to +60, then the destination to pitch fine. In slot 3, select the source as LFO2, amount to 45, and the destination to filter cutoff. Now this needs to sound random, so change the shape of LFO2 to noise. In the filter section, pull the cutoff down to 65% to give the LFO some room. Now, head to the amp envelope section and change attack and release to 80%. Now we can add the effects. Drop Ableton's simple delay after the instrument rack and turn the feedback up to 50%. Finally, drop in a reverb and turn the decay time up to 8 seconds. Try playing a big, dissonant chord which would normally seem a little off. For this type of sound, the darker the better.